5 years ago, I bought this 4Runner as a stock TRD premium off-road, and I had no idea what world that was opening up for me. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5-year transformation of this 4Runner from its stock beginnings to the overlanding rig that you see here today. I've loved the outdoors my entire life. I've been camping since I was a kid. I like going on long road trips. What made me decide to upgrade to this vehicle was a camping trip that my two sons and I were on about 6 years ago. It was a cross-country road trip. We were heading from Minnesota all the way to Big Sur, California, stopping at a lot of national parks along the way. And in the Tetons, we got to a place where we really wanted to go camping, but the family vehicle just couldn't make it up the trail. And that is where I decided I am gonna get rid of this thing and I'm gonna upgrade to a vehicle that is going to take me where I wanna go. This 4Runner has taken me some pretty amazing places over the last 5 years. I had no idea that this thing was gonna become an obsession of mine. Not only are the trips amazing, but just the build of this thing is something that I just can't stop thinking about. It's the type of project that's never gonna be done. I'm always gonna find something to improve, something to change, probably gonna break some things along the way as well, but that to me is just part of the journey and part of the love of overlanding. Early 2021 is really when it all began. Everything was locked down. My boys were stuck at home. They couldn't go see their friends, and it was the middle of winter up here in Minnesota. We wanted to get away and do something. There wasn't a lot of options at the time. Really, a road trip is the only way we were gonna get to do something. And being in Minnesota, we wanted to go someplace that might be a little warm. So started doing my research, decided that we're gonna try to go someplace remote. We landed on Padre Island National Seashore, from Minnesota to the tip of Texas. 24-hour drive just to get there, and then it's 60 miles of remote beach, one way in, one way out. You're gonna need four-wheel drive, high clearance, and that is where the modifications on the 4Runner began. I wanted to get this thing prepared for that trip. We were gonna be isolated, we're gonna be out there all alone, and I wanted to make sure we were safe and we had everything we needed. So I started doing my research to see what I would need to do to prepare for this trip. And this is where I learned the term overlanding. So basically self-sustained travel. And I wanted to set this thing up so that we were comfortable. So the first thing I decided to do for this trip was to build a rear drawer system. I wanted something that had a pull-out stove, you know, a lot of organization. We had 3 people we had to fit in this and a lot of gear. And I got to work designing it. Me and my dad built this thing over the course of a couple weekends, and the thing turned out really great. I kind of call it my drawer system 1.0. Next, I went and I built my own roof rack. It was something I wanted to haul a little bit more gear up on top. I wanted a full-length roof rack. And I thought, that's something I could probably just make myself. So did a little bit of research, found some plans, modified them a little bit for my needs, and got to work. And the thing turned out great for what I needed it for at the time. The big project for the trip was building a rear tire swing out. I wanted to get my tire out from underneath. I already had KO2s on this thing that were oversized, and we built a hitch-mounted tire carrier. The thing worked out great. I actually used it for quite a few years. So with the 4Runner ready, we hit the road, started to head south. Now, Padre Island was a great start for our first overlanding trip. We had gone further off-grid than we've ever gone before. Everything that we built and prepared for worked out really well, but along the way, I could see there's some things that I need to start to improve upon if I'm gonna keep taking this to the next level. Now, with our first trip under our belt, it was time to start looking forward to 2022. And for the next year, I decided I wanted to do something even bigger, something that's really more off the grid. And what I landed on was heading down to Moab, over to the Canyonlands, and hitting the White Rim Trail. This is a 100-mile trail deep in the Canyonlands. It's rough, it's rugged. Again, you're very isolated. It is a national park. but you're out there. Once you get out to a certain point, you really don't see anybody else. You're camping miles away from anybody. It just seemed like the perfect next step. But for this next step, I was going to have to do some improvements on the 4Runner. For one, the previous year, I was very overloaded with weight, and I was riding on the bump stops quite a bit, just in the sand. And this trail is going to be a lot rougher and more rugged, so I needed to upgrade the suspension on the 4Runner. After looking at my options, the suspension that I landed on was the Toytech Boss Illuma Series 2.5 Performance System. This just felt like the right fit. It was the right price point for me at the time. And I also went ahead and upgraded the spring in the back as well to the heavy duty, just because I was carrying so much extra gear. I was hitting the bump stops so much. So overall, the suspension was taken care of and that part was ready for the trip. The only other real modification I made to the 4Runner that year was these rock sliders. You know, the 4Runner came with the step sides, really a good way to get in and out of your vehicle, but other than that, they don't offer any protection. And I didn't know what the trails were going to be like, so I wanted to make sure the 4Runner was going to be in good shape. I went with the RSG bolt-on rock sliders. These have a little bit of kick out in the back, which I like. And you know, they get a little bit scuffed up here and there over the years, but I just hit them with a rattle can of some truck bed liner and they're as good as new. So with those upgrades, we ended up heading down to the Canyonlands, out onto the White Rim Trail. That place is spectacular. I would highly recommend making that trip if you can. It's not a difficult trail, but it is a very rough trail. And with that upgraded suspension on this, we were able to handle anything that trail threw at us. With another trip down and another year gone by, I was starting to build more and more confidence on where I could take this 4Runner and what kind of modifications I could do to it. And that takes me to 2023. That was the year that I discovered the people in the community that surround overlanding. I went to a few different events that year, from the Midwest Toyota Rally, where I met some really great people. I went to the very first Rocky Mountain Toyota Roundup out in Ouray, Colorado. There was about 150 rigs out there. Great people, great trails, highly recommended if you can. But from there then, I went out solo with just me and a buddy, and we did the Colorado BDR. So overall, it was a pretty big year. But with a big year like that, I needed to do some more modifications. I had to get this thing ready to take it again to the next level. I started out by replacing the stock bumper with a steel bumper. I didn't want something that took up the whole front end. I wanted to try to keep it on a little bit on the lighter weight side, but I wanted to add a winch, maybe a light bar, and some true recovery points to the front of the 4Runner. So that led me to the C4 Low Pro front bumper. I think it's a pretty popular bumper for 4Runners. It allowed me to add the Smitty built 10,000 pound X2O winch to it, this light bar by Diode Dynamic, and you know, I have no complaints. This has been a solid bumper for me. But with 2026 right around the corner and my need to continually be improving this 4Runner, I think there might be some changes to this front bumper that you're gonna wanna stick around and check out. The second update I made for 2023 was to do a second generation drawer system. My first drawer system worked great, but it was really built around this larger than necessary stove. And I wanted to add more storage, deeper drawers, and I also wanted to upgrade to a fridge. So that took me back to the drawing board and I came up with this. I have 3 nice deep drawers. It allows me to carry all my cooking gear, all my camping gear, or a lot of my camping gear anyways, and some of my recovery gear and tools in here as well. And then the big upgrade from my first drawer system was having a refrigerator. This is the second fridge I've had in this drawer system. This is the new Set Power DT45 quart fridge. It's a dual zone fridge, and the thing I love about it is also Bluetooth, so I can control it from my driver's seat when I'm on the road, and it just has made for so much more convenience. The dual zone is also really nice, having both freezer and fridge. I can keep all my meat frozen for extended period of time, say if I'm on a week or 2 long trip. So just a nice upgrade overall. The other hidden feature on this drawer system that I just absolutely love is I built an integrated table underneath that pulls out, so I don't have to bring a secondary table along to do any cooking or cleaning or prepping or working on my camera gear or anything like that. It's built right in. So overall, I'm just really happy and pleased with how this system has turned out. I really loved going to those events that year. You know, getting out to that Rocky Mountain Toyota Roundup in Ouray, Colorado, that's just a great little town. And those mountain passes are amazing. They really get your heart going, but things like Imogene Pass or the Alpine Loop, the scenery is out of this world. You think you're in a different country. You know, I built a lot of things on the 4Runner that year, but I think the most important thing that I built that year were all the friendships within the overlanding community. Moving on to 2024, this was going to be another great year with a few amazing trips planned, going back to the Rocky Mountain Toyota Roundup for year 2, as well as heading out on the Utah Backcountry Discovery Route. That was something that I was really looking forward to, starting out in Valley of the Gods, going through Moab, spending some time there, and then just continuing to head north. Getting ready for that year's overlanding season, I did a lot more modifications to the 4Runner, but where my focus really was adding simplicity and comfort to my overlanding setup. One of the mods I did this year was upgrading my electrical system. This little thing called the Garmin Power Switch is, in my opinion, by far the easiest way to add switches to your setup. It's Bluetooth, so you can control everything right from your phone. All your lights, air compressor, you know, if you have a refrigerator set up in here. It just has so many possibilities, and it's easy. It's super easy to install. You have to run any wires into your dash through the firewall. Because it's Bluetooth capable, it works with Apple CarPlay. So I actually can control all my lights right from my dash on my stereo. So I think this is a very nice way to add some functionality to your electrical system without getting too complicated. The other improvement I made that year was a big one, and that was switching from ground tenting to a rooftop tent. I was going for comfort and convenience, and running a rooftop tent is so much faster and comfortable than ground tenting. There's still a lot of people out there that swear by ground tenting. You know, you're adding a lot of weight to the top of your vehicle by adding a rooftop tent, but man, after running a rooftop tent now for a couple of years, I'm never gonna go back to ground tenting. It's so convenient and so comfortable. But I've had a few tents over the last 2 years. I do a lot of reviews. Top Oak was the first tent that I chose to purchase. I had their Galaxy 1.0. The reason I chose that tent was the space, the comfort, but also the price at the time. I didn't want to overcommit, you know, my first tent in case it was something that, you know, I wasn't going to be into. But this current tent here is the Top Oak Galaxy Light. So this is their lightest tent they offer. You know, I've been trying to find lighter options, just keeping in mind, you know, all that weight that's on the top. So this is a 100-pound tent. You know, the Galaxy 1.0 was about 180 pounds at the time. So again, things keep improving, and you know, I'll keep switching them out as things improve. But in order to do that, I also had to switch over to a new roof rack. I had my previous DIY roof rack up there, which worked great, but I just wanted something that actually had a load rating for dynamic and static. And this one has everything you need to carry a rooftop tent. So this is the Prinsu Original roof rack. This has everything you need. It's strong, durable, and can handle a rooftop tent no problem. The last upgrade I made in 2024 was adding full armor underneath the vehicle. I went the RCI skid plates, starting from behind the current TRD skid plate. I kept that aluminum skid plate up front. I like the way that that looked, but RCI has an integrated system that allows you to kind of build on from that all the way back. I was getting concerned about how beat up my stock gas tank skid was looking, so I just decided to go front to back with all new steel skids. 2024 ended up being a great year. Getting the opportunity to go back to the Rocky Mountain Toyota Roundup for the second straight year, that's just an amazing event. And then getting to spend a lot of time in the backcountry of Utah. Valley of the Gods is just such a beautiful place. Moab is always a good time, and then heading north from there, getting into some snow and having a lot of fun. It just rounded out a perfect overlanding season. And that brings me to 2025. This year was full of some of the most amazing trips that I've been on, and we've done a lot of work on the 4Runner. Starting out with this bad boy, this is a Safari RMAX snorkel. I had some plans to head down to the Ozarks this spring and you know, hit some water crossings, so I wanted to make sure I got the best. Safari's been around for a long time. They've done a lot of testing on these things, so I know that this thing's gonna hold up. I never made it down to the Ozarks, but we found some water crossings, so I got some good use out of this thing this year. My biggest project this year was installing this high clearance rear bumper. This thing is built by Ascend Fabrication out of Stillwater, Minnesota, which was very convenient for me. I could just run over and pick it up. I was looking for a bumper that was on the lighter weight side, but really added some clearance for better departure angle. Up until now, I've been running the hitch mounted tire carrier that I built myself. That thing carried gas, it carried my propane, it carried my spare tire, but what it didn't do was improve my departure angle. It stuck out beyond the trailer hitch, and I was dragging that thing over rocks all the time. So with this bumper, I've really increased my clearance in the back. I haven't hit a single thing coming out of some pretty steep departures. Overall, I couldn't be happier. Painted the thing myself, installed it myself. It was a really fun install. It took a couple days. I actually had to cut the cross member out between my frame rails in order to install this bumper. So this replaces it. And what it does is it maintains a hitch mount. So it has everything I need, and I just absolutely love this thing. Another thing I changed this year was my tires. I previously was running the KO2s, the 285/70 R17, so like a 33-inch tire, and they were worn out and I needed to buy some new tires. So I decided I was going to change things up. I went with the Toyo Open Country AT3s. This is a 285/75 R17, so almost a true 34-inch tire. To get a little bit more clearance, you know, just overall fills the wheel well really nice. I already had a body mount shop and, you know, fender and stuff, so I had plenty of clearance in order to do that. With this little bit wider tire though, I needed to upgrade my rims. SSW Off-Road reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to test out their Dakar Evos, which is a new rim that they offer. This is a 0 offset rim, so it pushes things out just enough so I can clear my sway bar, and they just look great. They're Flowform manufacturing, so it's a little bit more of a durable rim as well. It's gonna be able to handle some rougher trails. Really happy with this. I really think it changes the look of the 4Runner. As far as my power setup this year, I made some major improvements. Previously, I was just running some power from my starter battery to the rear of the 4Runner and running my fridge off of that. And then I'd bring a little EcoFlow River 2 Max along for just a little peace of mind. But this year, inside the rear of the 4Runner, I have installed an EcoFlow alternator charger. And what this does is it allows me to fast charge this new battery of mine, which is a Delta 3 Plus by EcoFlow, a larger capacity battery, and it allows me to charge it very quickly, just a matter of a few hours. So when I leave camp in the morning and I hit some trails for the day, by the time I get back to camp at night, that battery is fully charged every time. So far this thing has worked out great. I took it out to the Bighorn Mountains and South Dakota this fall, and I have no complaints. It's just a set it and forget it type of setup. So that kind of wraps up all the mods that I did in 2025. You know, 2025 was a big year. I went to Idaho, Oregon, Northern California. My dad and I made it out to the Bighorn Mountains, South Dakota. That was really important to me. That was the first trip that my dad was actually able to go on with me in the 4Runner. He's been around from the beginning, helping me do all the modifications to this vehicle. So I just want to send a big thank you out to him. You know, it wouldn't have gone as easy as it has if I didn't have his help. Some of you have probably followed along and seen this thing evolve over the last couple of years. Building this thing has been just as an enjoyable part of overlanding as actually getting out using it. It has been fun, something I look forward to every year, getting done with one season, thinking through what I can change for the next season. It just never stops. So I'd love to say that someday this 4Runner will be done, but I'll probably find something to change, something to improve, something to break. I have some big projects coming up in 2026 that I'm really looking forward to. I also have videos on everything that I've installed on this 4Runner, so go ahead and check out the YouTube channel. If you like gear reviews, you like trip videos or DIY projects, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.